Hey there, welcome aboard. It's Walter here, and you're here at the Naked Forex webinar or video, I guess. And we're going to talk about reading the market candle by candle. If you find this useful, you should probably go to nakedtradingclass.com and you'll get there a on-demand training, and it'll share with you how you can grow an account rather quickly, in fact. And you'll see this fancy magician looking thing right there, and you'll know you're in the right spot. So you can go to nakedtradingclass.com and get that. Now let's talk about reading the markets. This is kind of my favorite thing to do in terms of like looking at the markets and assessing what's going on. I love to do it just by reading the candles. So let's just talk about some of the things you might look at. Number one is you might look at which candles are big and which candles are not so big. So for example, right here you can see that the market kind of alternates like red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, like that. And the candles are pretty small. They're a bit wicky here. So even if they're not wicky, they're fairly small. And then boom, you get this massive candle again. Red, blue, red, blue, red. I don't know what color it is. Maybe that's red, red, blue, red. And again, they're quite wicky. Not really going anywhere. They're going slightly down, and then boom, another trend candle. That's classic trend action, and it's super fun to trade that, especially when we know that everyone else is selling and the market's going up. We know that everyone else is selling when you go to the open position ratios. You can just Google broker open position ratios Forex, and you'll find Awanda, IG Markets, Saxo Bank, some other websites that compile them for you. So this right here, and I talked about it in tons of other videos. You can watch the other videos. So in this one right here, what's interesting is we actually have what I would call a directionless market. And we did a recent video on boxes. This is what I would draw. I would draw a box, something like this, and I'd say, you know what? This market's not really going anywhere until it goes below the box, clearly below or clearly above. Then I'm not going to. Okay, well, it went clearly below. So we might be looking for a trade. This is looking directionless too. Why do I say that? Because the bullish candles and the bearish candles are about the same size, and really the market's not going anywhere. It's just retracing its steps. Now this is different. This looks like a potential trend. What I would be looking for at this stage would be a really nice bullish candle, and I wouldn't count the current candle as a bullish one, that would break above this trend line. So this is what we call a classic bullish flag. I don't know that the market's trending, but this looks like it could be an early trend, especially if we break above the bottom of my box over here, which is a pretty important level. We're kind of right up against that. So if we can explode through this level, then that would definitely give me a reason to believe that we're in a bullish trend. If it doesn't, then I would say we're back to directionless. Okay, well it doesn't, so we're directionless. Oh, it does, okay. This is a wild market. Now, I would definitely stay on the sidelines when we see this. So I'll actually take a trade here. Let's see if we can do that. Let's find a nice trending market and share with you why I might take a trade. So that's a nice pullback and another trend candle. So what we would expect here is probably not another big candle. Probably some small candles, perhaps either in a horizontal box, or what they might do is actually give us a little bit of a downward flag action like this, and that would be really good sign that we're in a bullish trend. Okay, we did get the other bullish candle. It was not what I was looking for here, but let's see what happens next. Okay, so this is kind of a bit of a box, perhaps. If it stays in here for a few more candles, we could get in on a break of the box. If it flags down, that would be even better, but let's see. Now we're in the box here. You could just put a buy stop above this box, stop loss down below the low of the box, and see if it's going to break. This is the pound yen 6-hour chart, by the way. Still in the box. Okay, now we're in, and now we're... okay. This is interesting. Let's talk about this. A couple of things happen here. Number one is we broke out of my box, kind of just almost barely. Then, number two, it went up a little bit, and then it gave me a bullish flag, which is right here. So that was actually two sort of consolidations in a row. One consolidation right here and a mini breakout, and then a nice little bullish flag and another breakout. So another opportunity to buy would be right here. If I didn't take that other one or I missed it for some reason, I could actually put an order right here and see if we're going to break this candle high. Oh, that's no good. Okay, now again we're in another consolidated box, and you could put a buy stop up above this box, and then a stop loss down below the low of the box, and see if it breaks out and goes higher. It does, and then it does. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to start moving my stops here. I'm going to start moving my stops up so that I don't have so much risk. I have a few positions on here all kind of clumped together. So let's lock in some profit. Now this might be another opportunity to go long if we get a nice little retrace. And then again, we want the big bullish candle to show us that the trend is still in play. And that doesn't count. That does. Boom. So there you have it. Another one right there. See what happens. Now at the end, you're always going to get stopped out at the end of these trends. That's always going to be the case. So shouldn't be like a surprise or shouldn't be upset about that. But the good news is if the market does keep trending, I just get an opportunity here to keep adding. Let's see. No. Not very nice. No. Okay. Probably going to get stopped out here, which is okay. No. Okay, cool. I'll put another buy stop right here then. My stop loss goes down here. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Really cool that we're able to ride this. I didn't think that we would get such a nice... these trends don't always last this long. So what we'll be looking for here is when the markets... A couple of things I think I should point out. When there's a big bearish candle during a bullish trend or vice versa, that's not a big deal. You often get a big bearish candle right before the market re-engages the trend. So that's not a big deal. The key is, do you get a bunch of candles that match the trend candles? So right now, it's a one-sided affair. All the bearish candles are wicky, they're small, they're not nearly as big as the bullish candles here. So we know we're still in a bullish trend, but at some stage, they're going to start to equal out, and they're going to look very similar. And when that happens, I can start to pull positions off or let them get stopped out, on a trailing exit. Just make sure that I don't get burned. You're always going to lose in the end, but hopefully not too bad. So this would be a breakout here. I would call this another box here. I would draw another box here, and I would just put a buy stop above this high and see if this is going to break. Not really. Okay, so that position was stopped out. I would probably tighten up my stops here. See if it's going to bounce here or if this trend is probably going to go sideways. Yeah, okay. So a whole bunch of positions here, 4 or 5 positions, whatever it is. We're all stopped out there, and it did pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, so so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 out of 6. Looks like we made 14, 1,000, 15, 14, 1,500 minus 200. So about 1,200 pips or so on that one. Now let's talk about if this is actually a bullish trend still or a bearish trend or what's going on. Well, hypothesis number 1 would be we're just going sideways and we're going to continue on this uptrend. If that's the case, we'd expect this box to be broken to the upside. We could use a last kiss, for example, and re-engage the trend. So it's broken out of the box. I could go long again. If we come back down and bounce on the box and go, now I need a big bullish push off of this. Okay. That was a bit of a half-hearted attempt. Okay, we're back in the box. So I wouldn't count this as a bullish trend now. Well, maybe. No, okay. This is the key here, guys. So this is what I want to point out. The most important thing I see here is this. These 3 candles are critical. Why? Because this is the first time where we've seen a bearish pattern. It doesn't mean we're in a bearish trend, but it means at the very least, we're probably flirting with sideways market. So why do I say that? Because remember, when we were in the bullish trend here, the bullish candles were huge and the bearish retracements were small. The candles in the retracements were small. Now we've got the opposite. We've actually got a bearish flag where we've got some little mini candles going up rather than down. So this is what we would call a bearish flag. And the biggest candles are now the red ones. They're the bearish candles. So if this keeps doing this, then I would say we're in a downward market. If it doesn't, if it switches back and we get the big bullish candles followed by a bullish flag, then I would say we're in a sideways market. So what typically happens in a sideways market is you'll get candles that look like bullish trends and then that look like bearish trends. So I would call this sideways market. This actually looks pretty bearish right here, but at this stage, you've got candles that are about the equal, bullish one, bearish ones, they're all about the same size. I would definitely call this a sideways market, and this would not be a trending market for me. I would want to see this market really take off one way or the other. Maybe now see, definite. We had a nice bearish trend here, and now we've got a bullish. These are all bullish markers here. See, so this is when the market gets a little bit seasick. This is what's going on here. You get these bullish flags like that. There's another bullish flag right here that we're in right now. So it could explode up. But remember, we just also had over here bearish trend candles, bearish retracement, bearish trend candles, bearish retracement, and so forth. So we had the exact opposite over here where we were getting these bearish pushes. So I would definitely kind of wait on this. Okay, now it's looking like another bullish trend. Again, you don't want to see this. So at this stage, I would call this a sideways market for sure. Yeah, definite sideways market. And if I'm a trend trader or I'm looking for trend trades, I would steer clear of this one. So there you have it, friends. I hope that this helps. If you want to go to nakedtradingclass.com, you can get the on-demand training, show you how to grow an account quickly using 3 different methods. I wish you happy trading, and we'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye.